This is episode number 81 of Real Occult, where we apply numerology and astrology to the material world. Today, we are talking about energetic interest. What is it? How does it apply? When does it apply? And what can we do about it? So let's jump right into it. Energetic interest. What is it? What are we even talking about? And so Newton's third law says for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Every input you give the universe, you will receive an output. You're not guaranteed to receive the output you want. You're guaranteed to receive an output. For every input, there's an output. For every action, there's a reaction. Just like when you take a loan, you borrow money, you have to pay back that money with interest. The person who loans you the money, they get a sliver to deliver, right? The universe acts in the same way. When we try to sidestep something, and to take a little sidestep right now, Saturn. If you could think of Saturn with its ring, its slogan would be, there is no escaping the lessons you're meant to learn in this lifetime. We see this within the foundational layer of karma, the current layer of karma, the created layer of karma. All three layers of karma have this principle within it. There is no escaping the lessons we are meant to learn in this lifetime. We are in a one universal year. People are starting new stuff. I myself have even had the tendency where I catch myself trying to rush. I'm creating this new thing. I'm starting something new, and I want the results to come back faster. I want this feedback loop to be tighter. I want to give the universe my inputs and get the output I desire quicker. Well, rush is purely imaginary because we are all on our own timeline dictated by these foundational layers of karma. And so Saturn's slogan, there is no escaping the lessons we're meant to learn. If we try to sidestep these lessons, we try to rush through these lessons, we are going to pay back that loan with interest, that energetic loan with interest. There is nothing free in this universe. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Anytime you give the universe an input, you will receive the corresponding output. Positive, negative, neutral, the table will always zero out. The slate will always be clean at the end of the day. And so you have shortcuts. For example, if you are trying to get in shape and you decide you're going to abuse steroids, not only are you going to use them, you're going to abuse the heck out of them. You get the thing you want, you sidestepped the lesson, so you're going to pay it back with interest. And that interest is going to be hardship, challenge, barriers, obstacles, pain. It can be physical pain, emotional pain, monetary pain. The universe will still deliver you that lesson and you will pay it back with interest. And so as you are moving through your layers of karma, your foundational layer, the current layer, your current personal days, personal months, personal years, your transits that are active right now, it's important to remember we are not in a rush. The rush is imaginary based on the time frame and timeline that was simply made up out of nowhere. It's not real. All of a sudden, one day, you opened your eyes and started remembering things. And fast forward a bunch of years and now you have this made up timeline that really is not grounded in reality whatsoever. There will be emotional consequences if you quote unquote miss the deadline. But in reality, nothing happens. You're simply moving through the universe. And so as we experience hardship, challenges, obstacles, as you attempt to rush, just remember, this lesson will be paid with interest if I don't acknowledge it now. And so one of my clients, we have a free school community, skool.com/real occult, completely free. One of my clients, they are in a transitional phase, right? They're in a massive life transition. And there's kind of a shortcut option, and then there's the long way based on how the circumstances have fallen. And the lesson they're being taught is about greed, wanting more than they have. And so digging into the chart, digging into their current transits, their current layer of karma with their foundational layer, and the long-term goals and desires they have, it's been clear to me that rushing with this greed monster to try to get more simply for the sake of having more is not the correct choice. Not that it's not the correct choice, but it will sidestep the lesson that they are being presented by the universe right now. The universe is testing them. It's giving them the test. And how you respond to that test is going to dictate what the next outcome, next experience will be. The inputs we give, so based on the inputs my client gives, right, will determine the outputs they receive. And so if they can demonstrate through their, and because they are fully committed, like, yep, I need this more, I want more. How can I get more faster? Right now, I'm going to take this option. I'm going to take option A. When I'm sitting here saying, clearly everything in your chart is pushing you towards option B because that is the more aligned path. That is you demonstrating to the universe the spiritual development and growth that has occurred. And so neither option is the right option. It's just, what trade-off are you willing to make? Do you want to make this trade-off knowing, okay, you'll still get the thing you want. It's probably just going to take you 8 months longer, but you'll get to roughly around the same point. It's just going to take 8 months longer. Or are we going to do the shortcut and rush through things and now have to pay back this lesson with interest in the future? And here's the kicker. Here's the part that gets most people. We don't know right now how much interest you're going to have to pay. So we could rush. We could go with option A right now. We don't know how or where in your life you are going to be paying this interest. But it's coming through physical pain, emotional pain, monetary pain. Because you wouldn't be acting, this is what I'm telling my client, you would not be acting in alignment with your karmic destiny, with the role you're meant to fulfill for society as a whole, based on your foundational and current layer of karma. Period. And so the question becomes, which trade-off would you rather make? Because nothing is free in this energetic universe. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every input, there will be an output received. And so, are you willing to make the unknown trade-off and possibly have to pay tons and tons of emotional interest because you're going to be now taken through an emotional roller coaster to pay back this interest because you just had to rush it by 8 months? Or are we going to allow the universe to have things unfold in a more organized pace so that we don't have to pay this interest and we can simply demonstrate to the universe through our actions that we have learned the lesson we're meant to learn through this experience so that we can move on to the next one? Because either way, Saturn's slogan, there is no escaping the lessons we're meant to learn in this lifetime. Saturn's ring ensures it. There's no escaping Saturn's ring. Some people, they're on the front end of Saturn. They're trying to speed through life, and they keep running into these roadblocks that slow them down. Other people, they're completely resisting life, and Saturn's having to drag them forward as it moves through the universe, and they're being dragged through life. Most of us were somewhere in the middle. Either way, there is no escaping the lesson we're meant to learn. So the question becomes, are we going to demonstrate through our action right now in this experience that we have spiritually grown, we have developed, and we will demonstrate through our action that we've learned our lesson? We know we shouldn't do this thing, so we're not going to do it. We're going to do something else and allow things to unfold how they may. Or are we still going to resist and try to force this thing to happen on our terms and then have to pay back this lesson with interest? Because either way, it's happening. And so the Hermosis, they're some private equity people. They love to talk about whenever you start a business, you're taking on some type of debt. Are you taking on monetary debt because you took out loans to start the business? Are you taking on technology debt because your tech stack is going to be super lean? You're going to do Airtable and Google Sheets and all this stuff to just piece everything together and then have to fix the tech stack years down the line? Are you taking on human debt, people debt, where you're going to not hire the people you need, and now things are going to grow, and then you're going to be in this weird spot where you don't have the capacity to fulfill what you need to fulfill, but you don't want to spend the money to bring in the quality person that you need. So you're going to have people debt you're going to have to fix. Either way, you're taking on some form of debt to get this thing up off the ground. Which one would you prefer? Which one is this business best suited to handle? The same thing's true from an energetic, day-to-day lived experience perspective. Either way, we're going to learn the lesson we're meant to learn with this experience. We're either going to learn it now by demonstrating through our action we've learned it, which means we're going to have to confront sensational discomfort. I really want this thing, I can't have it. I really don't want this to do this, but I have to do it. I know I should, but I don't want to. I'm still going to demonstrate I've learned. I really don't think I should, but I really want to, but I'm going to demonstrate through my action that I've learned, so I'm not going to, even though I really, really want to. Either way, we're going to be forced to learn this lesson. Are we going to learn it now, or are we going to learn it in the future with interest? Here's a quick story to just put a cap on this, and then we'll wrap it up. When I was in my mid-20s, I became an in-home hospice caretaker. And so completely bedbound patient, and literally couldn't get out of bed, couldn't eat on their own, couldn't take their meds on their own, completely bedbound. And they were paying back these physical lessons with interest. And until they paid back all that interest, they were stuck in that bed. And they were stuck in that bed for 2 years, paying off this interest, this physical interest, because earlier in their life, they refused to walk to the mailbox. They refused to stay physically active. Even though everyone's telling them they should, even though the entire family's super, super duper active, they refused to go through that physical discomfort. They had, a back surgery and everything. They had physical problems, but they refused to face that physical discomfort up front. And so they had to pay back the universe that lesson with interest across 2 years of being completely bedbound and stuck in their body, unable to move. And this is a real lived experience that they were not getting out of, because either way, they had to pay 2 years of physical discomfort to the universe. They could either do it on their own terms, by going for a walk, by eating clean, by doing the dieting, or they could keep pushing it off, and they weren't allowed to pass on until they lived every single day for 2 years completely stuck in a bed. There is no escaping the lessons we are meant to learn in this lifetime. So we either demonstrate through our actions right now that we've learned our lesson, or we keep pushing it off and we have to pay down that lesson with interest. The choice is ours. The choice is yours. If you would like me to help you dig into your 3 layers of karma so that you can see what lessons the universe is trying to teach you right now, skool.com/real occult, school.com/real occult, completely free community. Check it out, join it, schedule your reading and deep dive into your numbers, your energy, your birth chart. All of our multi-layered system will dig into it, get you on the right path, answer whatever questions you have, help you start paying these lessons up front so you can avoid having to pay interest in the end. That's all I've got for you today. If you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you for listening. There is no escaping the lessons we are meant to learn in this lifetime. With that said, the universe is truly on your side. The universe wants you to win. I also want you to win. I'm on your side. If you have any questions, school.com/real occult. I am more than happy to help you however I can, and I will talk to you again soon.